Alrighty, welcome to the PSBS, as a Plays PlayStation podcast. I'm your host, Co T. PS and Body Boys. My host here is
Andrew Arenas, double is.
Yes, so we're back with episode 85.
85. And I see here on my YouTube homepage that someone's live streaming SpongeBob SquarePants episodes. The whole, 7,000 people are watching a 24/7 live stream of SpongeBob SquarePants episodes.
You just watch them all on Amazon or something.
Yeah, they have it on Amazon Prime. I think only season 1 through 5.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's really all you need. Oh, no.
Everything up to the movie.
Anything that's memeable has only been up to season 1 and 5 anyways.
Yeah, just watch those seasons and the movie, and then that's it. That's all you need.
Oh, gosh, I love that first movie.
Because that movie, man, is the finale. It was the official canon ending to the show, and then Nick said, "No, we're gonna keep it going even after the movie." And, yeah.
And plus, Scarlett Johansson was in it. Part of my childhood and adulthood.
And adulthood. Mindy the Mermaid. You can just watch SpongeBob and close your eyes, and then wait a minute, it's that movie Her.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But yep, we're back. I know we skipped a week again.
It's okay. Look, guys, it was Christmas. We were observing Christmas. We were observing. It was an observance of Christmas and the holidays. I hope it seemed like we both had a good holiday. It was a good day. Very relaxing. Played some games.
I'm still here.
You're still here?
Still breathing.
No.
I don't know. Because we are, because to remind you, we are coming up on our 2nd year anniversary of the show.
Which is insane.
Yeah, because our first episode, I have to look at the exact date. I know it was sometime in January was our first episode uploaded, so we are getting there.
Where there wasn't the beta?
Yeah, episode 0 was sometime in January, and then even episode 1 was still in January, so I have to look and see what the exact date was. But I know sometime in January.
It was the first week of January.
I think it was the first week of January. So
must have been a New Year's thing for you. You were like, you know what?
Yeah, it was right after New Year's, and we're like, yeah, New Year, let's do this, man.
It's time.
It's time to do this. But, yeah, but it's time to do this episode, this week's news.
What exactly do we even have this week?
Oh, we got stuff this week. Because
I'm curious.
Let's see.
What's worthy of the last episode of the year?
Last episode of the year. Well, as the last episode, let's look forward. Sony has announced what the PlayStation Plus games are for January 2017.
Oh boy, let's see.
Entering the Instant Game Collection, we're getting Asgen 2, The World Beneath, that's available for PS4 and PS Vita. We're also getting Day of the Tentacle Remastered for PS4 and Vita.
Yay.
We're getting The Swindle available for PS4, PS3, and PS Vita.
Mm-hmm.
This War of Mine, The Little Ones for PS4. Titan Souls for PS4 and PS Vita. And Blue Rush for PS3. But that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 PS4 games.
5 PS4 games. But, surprise, surprise, people aren't happy with these Plus games.
But you're getting 5 of them.
You're getting 5 of them, but thus the video currently has 280,000 views. It probably has one of the bigger dislikes ratios that I've ever seen for a PlayStation Plus video. I mean, this video has 15,000 dislikes.
I mean, come on, man. Day of the Tentacle, that's pretty good, right? I mean...
Yeah. I mean, dude, we get all the Telltale games free on Plus. This is why I'm not going to buy Full Throttle when it comes around.
Double Fine.
Oh, wait, did I just say Telltale?
You said Telltale. We do get the Telltale games for free sometimes.
Sometimes. I mean, we never got the Wolf Among Us for free, surprisingly. I think it might have been free in the UK, maybe at one point.
I know they did. I know the first episode was free, but I don't think it was for Plus. I think that was just for everyone.
Yeah, that was for everyone. It was even on Amazon for a while. We gave out a code for it because we were like, hey, if you don't feel like going on Amazon and getting it yourself, here you go.
Redeem this code.
Redeem it. At least use one of the million combinations. Maybe it'll be a $50 PSN card.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Day of the Tentacle is the most interesting one on here.
Oh, yeah. I was looking forward to this one for a while.
So that's cool. But yeah, every Double Fine game has seemed to come to PlayStation Plus. We even said that, even Kickstarter game, because, oh shoot, I already forgot the name of it.
It's like with all their Kickstarter things, like just might as well say like, oh, it's gonna be a free plus game like eventually. So what's the point, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, Sony hasn't done this yet, but they haven't done like PS2 classics for free yet. As PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that is rather interesting. Yeah,
Which would be nice because I mean, think about it. Like, Psychonauts would be cool to get for free, like the first one, as a PS2 classic with the trophies and everything.
The GTA games.
Or GTA game.
People would then be happy. But they would be happy if most of them are only going to play for like 10 or so minutes and be like, oh, maybe I don't actually really need this, and then just go back to their lives.
It's like, this isn't as good as I remember.
Yeah, maybe you don't really need this.
But no, I would like Psychonauts the first one, especially considering the second one's coming at some point.
In the VR game.
In the VR game, which we haven't had any updates on.
But these comments, man, they're just ruthless. The YouTube comments.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen
Such a great way to start off the new year. Thanks, Sony. Sarcasm. Why are PlayStation Plus games so garbage, bro?
It's like
$60 for Plus. I'll just use that money to buy 10 games on Steam instead. All these dislikes, well deserved. Whatever happened to voting for PS Plus games? Why did it stop? I mean, he brings up a good point.
Yeah, they haven't done that in a while. I mean, they said that wasn't going to be a monthly thing, the voting. It was going to be like every once in a while. But I don't know. I mean, we talked about this so much, I just
it's already getting. Yeah, I mean, this is like, I think this one in particular, this month in particular, I think is a little bit like, because it's the start of the new year, right? Maybe like, Sony turned a new leaf, and here's like knack at least or something. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, I just don't know what people are expecting. I mean, they're expecting Titanfall 2 or something.
I think so. No, wait, they were expecting Steep.
Steep just came out, yeah. What was it? Final Fantasy 15.
But it's a strange argument for this guy right here on YouTube who points out, we always point out like Knack, Killzone, Shadowfall, Infamous Second Son, launch titles for the PS4 that came out 3 years ago. Why can't you guys give us those games? What's the point of you asking if odds are you probably like have it, or like you've already played it? It's like a weird conundrum, like you're asking for these, but like what's the point of asking for them? Because like these games are really cheap. I mean, if you were to go out like a GameStop or even go get it like on eBay really cheap, and plus they've been cheap like on the digital front so many times they've given you like an opportunity to get like Infamous Second Son for like $10, or like The Order for like less than like $7, or like Killzone Shadowfall for $10. Like all these combined are like not even like plus subscriptions for the year, and you get to keep them. Yeah. So it's a strange conundrum of asking for this. So like, the argument of me asking for Knack is a little strange because I've played Knack and it's not really that great of a game anyways. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's what we always say. Like, well, Knack 2 is coming, so why not put out Knack 1 as like something to like, get the hype going or something.
Oh, this is strange. I'm scrolling more down, and people are saying like, why are people saying these games are so bad? These games are awesome, and then it's just.
I don't know. I just think the whole PS3 Plus thing just like totally spoiled people.
Exactly.
Because that PS3 one was really good for like the longest time.
Yeah, someone at IGN in the comments was like pointing out the golden era of PlayStation Plus, of how it was in the beginning. How we got Uncharted 3 a year and a half after release, at least a single player, right?
Yeah, single player. But I mean, the problem with those games is like, yeah, that's cool and all, but like, the odds are most people played them. Like, most people probably played Uncharted 3 at that point. Arkham City was free at one point. Most people probably played it by the time it was free. Like, I think they're at their best when they're doing, like, more kind of like mid-tier kind of things, like XCOM, where, like, maybe not everyone played it. Like, I never played it until it was free on Plus.
Yeah, it's got to be the stuff that really you would think that you would overlook. Like, look at these games, people get angry at these games, for a reason, because they're not ones that they would typically play. But, like, for people like us that try and do our best to get just about everything, this is like good for us.
Yeah, I mean,
but I can understand if people that don't get that many games a year and have to really rely on Plus to get these games is a little concerning. Which I can understand because people come from different backgrounds. But I mean, you really shouldn't rely on Plus to like get your like, I shouldn't even say Call of Duty, but like your big games that you would go out and buy like at GameStop. Like that's not
Yeah,
how it works.
never expect like Titanfall 2 or anything like that. On
No.
Plus. Because I mean that's just kind of too reflective of the industry right now, where there is kind of no mid-tier game anymore. It's basically the full-blown AAA thing or the smaller kind of indie title.
Yeah.
There's no like middle ground of like, oh, this was a game, and then it kind of got lost and now it's free. The only time they did that was probably a month or two ago. They did Bound in Flames.
Yeah, that's right.
Free. That's a good one because that's kind of a mid-tier game that probably some people missed or whatever, and it was available on Plus. And that was a retail game too. It wasn't just a digital only title.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of more what I like more with Plus because I mean, yeah, I know like me and you, we play more of the bigger games. We have more access that maybe not, more so than other people like playing the bigger games, play more of them. But I like these kind of like mid-tier kind of games where like I skip over them and then look, they're free now. Now I'll be able to check it out because it's free and there. But I think something Sony
because I'm pretty privileged. Like I have like at least just most of these like blockbuster games. I don't have just about all of them, but I have like the majority of them.
Yeah, or had the opportunity to play them.
Or I've had the opportunity to play them.
Like,
just about. I mean, there's some things I overlook. Witcher I don't have.
Man. Like last week I was ranting on about Call of Duty because I rented it for a day and I was like, no.
Call of Duty.
But no,
I think not. And I have it. Yeah, it's just people just expect a lot, and the entitlement come.
Yeah, I think what Sony needs to do to kind of like make up the difference, though, like to kind of give more without having to kind of like go for these AAA games, is kind of either focus more on putting out PS2 classics because that's something they haven't done yet.
Yeah.
As opposed to Plus game, I think people would probably like that. Some PS2 classics so they can get their trophies and all that. Do that and do. The only other thing would be like remasters, like some PS4 remasters. Put those out because technically they're PS4 games, but they're still not.
Yeah, like give us like Return to Arkham or like the Lego Harry Potter remaster.
Yeah.
But the Lego games have never been free like on Plus, like ever. There has never been like a Lego game free ever. I think they might have been in the UK, but at least here in the States, we have never gotten a free like Traveler's Tales or TT Games. Sorry, TT Games. TT Games. We never got TT Games for free for Plus, which is, I mean, those games already sell, so it's just people have them. So Sony must be like, oh, what's the point of giving it away?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, that's just what I think Sony needs to kind of look into to kind of like help make up, get people more excited. Like just do PS2 classics, start including some PS2 classics once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, even though those have been on sale multiple times, I think there are people that just because they are PS2 classics and they're old games.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't know. But then on top of that, dude, you would have people that would give the argument of like, "Oh, that looks bad on Sony's image that they're giving away now to PS2 games."
Yeah, but they still were something.
Because people already pissed that like Sony was giving out PSP games for the longest time on Plus.
Yeah, but I mean, at least with
like,
PS2
how's
games,
that outlook going to look now when Sony now all of a sudden gives PS2 classics on PS4 as Plus?
But they
I don't know.
I mean, they still have trophies, so you're still earning something. It's not like PSP games where like even if you go through the trouble of downloading.
I don't know. I think actually that would look worse. Because then people will just be like on the comments, you're like, "Oh, you're giving out PS2 games now? You have literally no games." That's what like they're gonna say.
Well, yeah, but now you're just saying that they'll complain about anything.
Yeah, they will. Well, I'm just kind of thinking that kind of like side of the argument because there's multiple sides here. It's like a civil war going.
I mean, come on. If they announce like Red Dead Revolver is going to be free next month as a PS2 classic, I think people would be okay with that.
Perhaps, but I just think from the angle, people will just come in at the angle of like, you're giving out PS2 games. What's wrong with you? This is what I got a PS4 for. Yada yada yada.
Well, technically, all those indie games are still PS4 games too. So, and yeah, they're still complaining. So,
yeah, exactly. there's no winning here.
No winning, man.
Unless you gave out games that came out like of the month, that's when you win.
Like we always said that like back on PS3 when PS3 was still putting out AAA games for free. We always said that like, what if Sony really buckles down 1 month and like just give out a full AAA game at launch for free?
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was always like hypothetical. Like, what if Sony ever did that? But, I just don't know what game they could pull that off with and it'd be like successful.
Rocket League.
Rocket League, yeah, Rocket League, but that's not AAA. But I don't know. I just feel like, at this point, like, Last Guardian, it's free at launch. Just here, we're finally out. But nah, I don't know. Let's see what else we got.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see what else what's the Switch to next?
Switch. We're gonna know about Switch soon.
Yeah.
Switch.
Speaking of things too late, things coming too late. Sony announced that they're actually putting out a 500 gig Call of Duty Infinite Warfare PS4 bundle that costs $299.
Oh, yeah, this is interesting how they didn't have a Call of Duty Infinite Warfare PS4 bundle.
There was no PS4 bundle, and they're just now putting it out after Christmas.
Oh my god!
After Christmas, and it does come with Modern Warfare Remastered too. So,
which is interesting. It comes out the download voucher.
Yeah, it's a separate thing. It's not the Legacy Edition you're getting. You're getting Infinite Warfare and a separate voucher for Modern Warfare Remaster.
So now you can get Infinite Call of Duty Modern Warfare as a separate entity.
Oh man, those codes are gonna be flying online.
Like, hey, you want to just get Call of Duty 4 and pay more for just the code than you would pay for the Legacy Edition?
Yeah, people are like, I don't want Infinite Warfare on my hard drive. I just want that Modern Warfare Remaster.
Well, I mean, if you get the digital deluxe edition, I mean, you could just have Call of Duty Modern Warfare installed and not have Infinite Warfare installed.
Yeah. But anyway, this is still just a weird situation. I mean, I don't know if there's some contract thing or what, but you would think Sony would try to, line that up where, like, we're putting this out before Christmas,
I mean, they had the Black Ops 3 one last year, and that one flew off shelves, and that one was great. I mean, they specially designed that console, remember? Mm-hmm. But for this, they didn't put any effort. They just simply put the slim model. I think it was just the difference between there were so many SKUs of the PS4 this year, especially around Black Friday once we had the Pro and then the regular one.
Yeah, but you would think still though, like the Call of Duty one would sell itself because it's Call of Duty.
I think it would have been nice just with every PS4 Pro, just in general. Oh, here's my entitlement. Just that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Legacy Edition comes with free.
Yeah, but Sony, that's just Sony's thing, man. They never put a free game in their launch bundle. Ever.
Excluding like higher priced like bundle accessories with like, VR.
VR, well, yeah, VR they threw in a game, but that was more, like you said, a bundle. Same thing with, like, the PSP did that. If you got, like, the big bundle that came with all the accessories, they threw in the game.
The Vita.
The Vita did
Little
that.
Deviants.
The Little Deviants one. But, like, their core system never comes with a game. Like, Pro didn't come with a game, PS4 didn't come with a game, PS3 didn't come with a game, it came with a Blu-ray movie.
First 600,000.
Yeah, I have it.
I think my PS3 MotorStorm PS3 had a other demo disc thing.
Yeah, sometimes put.
Oh, and it came with a code for Pain.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know the logistics on like making bundles and if they're profitable or not. Because I mean, look what Microsoft did when they put out the Xbox One S. Look how many freaking bundles they did for the Xbox One S.
It's a lot, dude. You can get so many different variants of the Xbox One S. It's a bit ridiculous.
Like, if you buy any Xbox One S this holiday or this season, you got a free game with it.
Yeah.
Like, between the Minecraft, the Battlefield 1, the Gears of War 4, the Halo
Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1. Like, they're all there. But, like, for PS4, it was like, oh, no, here's our Pro, but it doesn't come with any free game or anything. Like,
and then they just leave it up to the retailers. So like, oh, we'll give you like maybe a $50 gift card with it, or like maybe just some variant of a game.
But they didn't do that with the Pro. The Pro didn't get any type of holiday discount or like bundle thrown in thing. Like, I mean, and then the only like special console they did this year was the Final Fantasy 15 one, and that was still a slim model. That wasn't even a Pro model.
When the game does have pro support.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. It was really weird what they did with the Pro. They didn't really do anything to like do extra to it. Just like here it is, you know.
Yeah. And they definitely know their audience for it. That's all you get.
Know the audience. They know they're gonna sell it to people who are hardcore and just want the best out of their games, and that's fine and all. But I don't know. Just when I mean, I don't want to compare it directly to Microsoft, but I mean, the way they sold their new model, they sold the hell out of it. Because look, no matter which version of our new model you buy, you get a free game and some other stuff.
It has a Blu-ray drive.
And it has a 4K Blu-ray drive.
But PS4, they didn't bother advertising it.
No.
It's just there.
It's just there. No 4K Blu-ray drive. It's just, yeah.
Gotta wait for the PS5 for that, hopefully.
I still like my PS4 Pro. It's just that whole Blu-ray thing just pissed me off. But speaking of PS4 Pro...
Oh gosh, I hope I don't have the hiccups.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of PS4 Pro, we got some updates. Rocksteady says that they have no plans to patch Arkham Knight to have Pro support.
Yeah, they probably want to have Pro support for Arkham Knight.
He says, we're not planning a patch for PS4 this time. We know this is not what you hear, but it's better to be honest. We did release a patch for Arkham VR to have support the Pro.
Ooh.
So Arkham Knight has a Pro support, but... Arkham VR has Pro support, but Arkham Knight will not be getting Pro support. Which I know is a different developer, but still same publisher. Like Warner Brothers did put that Pro support for Shadow Mordor.
They did, and it's very excellent Pro support.
It's kind of weird. So it's like, okay. So yeah, which ties into another news item. Because it's funny because like a lot of developers say they don't want to do it because they don't want to go back and like mess with their games or whatever. They just want to move on or whatever.
Who wants to move on?
But the developers Helldiver Studio says that making PS4 Pro compatible is easy.
It's easy.
Yeah. They were talking about how like Target support PS4, blah blah blah. It says and this to say minimum. It says that the minimum effort is probably even less than 0 to 0.23% of effort. Like, they gave it a number.
Oh, they gave it a percentage.
Yeah, like it takes 0.2 to 0.3% of overall effort to get Pro support.
I think it's probably like overall game development effort.
So it's just one of those things where like, well, I mean, you got to think though, for a game like Helldivers is probably not as extreme.
Complicated.
Something like Arkham Knight or like another big ones like The Witcher
Or Uncharted.
Well, I mean, Uncharted got it, but
still, at least Uncharted one took some time.
Yeah, but like something like The Witcher, where they said like no, they said the game's kind of too big for them to go back and like make sure it runs through every aspect of the game and work. And then Arkham Knight, they just kind of want to move on.
Return to Arkham has 4K support. Return to Arkham.
Return to Arkham, yeah. See, Return to Arkham got a Pro support.
It's probably because Arkham Knight runs on Unreal 3. It's probably not optimized for it.
Might not be.
I mean, now we're going to get people who are going to ask Gearbox and freaking Borderlands is going to have 4K support. And be like, nope.
Well, yeah, the old games. But like games going forward are going to have Pro support.
So Borderlands 3 has Pro support.
Yes, Borderlands 3 is going to have Pro support. But, yeah. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's like it doesn't take that much effort, but they still need to put... Here's the thing, though. It takes 0.2% of effort to do it, but the developers only want to give out 0% effort. So, 0 is less than 0.2, so...
Yeah.
That's that.
Now that explains it.
Yeah, that explains it, yeah. But, speaking of Batman games...
Ooh.
They had a report come out this week, and again, this is a report, not 100% confirmed, but you know how those things go.
Oh, I do.
There was a report that came out this week that Warner Brothers Montreal, the guys who developed Batman Arkham Origins, has canceled their Suicide Squad game that they were working on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because this was something I talked about a lot on the show. That's
we
what
did talk about, like the hypothetical Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I was like fully expecting a Suicide Squad game to be in development because Arkham Origins and Arkham Origins Blackgate was like so building up to Suicide Squad, like the characters and everything. Like like Blackgate literally ends with like basically like, oh, Suicide Squad tease,
Never finished Blackgate.
So like those two games were really like setting it up. So I was like, oh yeah, like they're like now that the movie was coming out, so they're kind of like that's like more awareness of the brand, and they're kind of setting up those other games. So yeah, so I always figured they were making a Suicide Squad game, and according to this report, they were, but it was canceled. It says report saying that Montreal's unannounced Suicide Squad game has been canceled. They said the Suicide Squad game was canceled earlier this month following 2 years of development and a long period of turmoil.
That's a while though. So they had a false start hypothetically.
It was going to be a co-op brawler, so it was going to have co-op elements.
My interest is losing.
What? Because we're going to have co-op in it.
I thought it was maybe going to be like a single player game.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you can play it in a single player.
You keep going.
But now the game has been has been canceled because Warner Bros. Was unimpressed during the greenlight meetings of the game.
But thus they allowed the movie.
Yes, they allowed the movie. But the report goes on to say that with the cancellation of Suicide Squad, Warner Bros. Montreal is now working on a Damian Wayne focused Batman game.
Ooh.
Rumor says the Damian Wayne title was greenlit in summer of 2015 and is set 10 years in the future. Gotham with bigger, more populated. Damon has a bat bike, and some of the villains include Mango, Poison Ivy, Black Mask, and White Rabbit. Bruce is in the game and acts as a mentor, but is old and using a walking stick.
Hey, just like Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Can you knock him over?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this.
Nah, dude, this is the way to go.
No.
Well, I mean, you wanted a Batman game in the future.
Shit, yeah, I wanted a Batman Beyond game.
But this is as close as what you're gonna get to it.
I don't want it though. I want a true Batman Beyond game where it's in the future and you're using future tech and you have a flying Batmobile and you play as Terry McGibbons.
Yeah, but we don't need to be in that Batmobile forever.
No, but
hopefully we're not fighting our boss battles in it.
No, in this new game apparently you have a bat bike, so I don't really know how much you can do with a bat bike, at least in boss battles.
Oh, let's fight in a bat bike, Batman.
Yeah. So, and I don't know how I feel about this game because one, it's more Batman, and I know everybody wants them to kind of try something else. Well, Suicide Squad would have been something else, sort of. It still would have had Batman elements, but a bit different,
Yeah, but it sounded kind of lame.
It sounded kind of lame.
And maybe now with the tarnished brand of the movie.
I think that's what it is. I think you just can't get over Suicide Squad right now. Like, you're just so associated with the brand. But, no, I mean, it would have been something different. Because, I mean, we saw that in the games. Like I said, there's the build-up to it. And then we saw that, like, even in Arkham Knight. Where, like, look, you can play as Harley Quinn. Developing that character, like, as you playing as that character,
For, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it's still something.
Yeah, I mean, people will be confused. Like, people will be like, where's Margot Robbie? Where's Jared Leto? Where's,
You think they're saying that when you're playing Injustice?
I mean, that's different. That's a fighting game. This is like a true, like, branded, like, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but you think they would have somehow throw the word Arkham in there somewhere,
Maybe.
To keep the brand.
Yeah, perhaps, but with Injustice... I mean,
they did it for Arkham Knight. They took an established story and changed it just so it can fit the word Arkham in it.
This is a bit of a conundrum here. Look, I think the idea of this sounds really neat. This kind of Batman game. I think it just, like, this is, like, the true, like, next step for Batman. I think it seems kind of cool. Look, I don't know if we're going to get Beyond. Or ever. But
that's the thing. I don't want this game to get in the way of ever, a Beyond game ever happening. But the problem is, like I said, they specifically say Bruce Wayne's a mentor and he has a cane and stuff. That's how he was in Batman Beyond. So I feel like this is kind of like taking that moment away. That like mentoring moment of like passing on to the next Batman. Because that was the whole thing about Batman Beyond is that Bruce Wayne, kept on being Batman until he was an old man and he couldn't do it no more. And then Terry stepped in and was like, no, he's the new Batman. And it was all future tech and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen the show.
Yeah, I know, but I'm explaining to other people. But to give that to Damian is just weird because, well, one, most people don't really like Damian as a character.
No.
So the idea of playing as him, as Batman, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they somewhat set it up already because, I mean, Talia already was shown in Arkham City and they already kind of like established that Batman and her already have some kind of relationship already. You know? So
Yeah.
at least it won't be completely out of nowhere when Damian shows up. Be like, yo, I'm your son. But I don't know.
But dude, there's a lot of canon and lore that they can take from, dude.
Yeah, the Batman Beyond lore.
Oh my! This is like a step towards that.
I don't know, man. I just kind of
You
wish.
just rather prefer a different. That's all you did. That's all you do. Just prefer a different character.
Yeah, but this is not going to be Batman Beyond. I mean, it's 10 years later, but it's not going to be like future tech and stuff. Like, I kind of wish it was that big leap where they kind of take that huge step forward, and it is, much in the future, and we play that Batman Beyond game.
Let's be honest. I mean, even if it were to take that big aesthetic change, I don't know if it would change the gameplay that much.
No, I wouldn't expect it to, but I mean, just think about it. You're playing a Batman game, but the city looks like Blade Runner.
Yeah, that'd be really neat.
Yeah,
I would love it.
Yeah, wouldn't you like that better than a Damian Wayne game?
That's just with the character. Probably like the environment will look different at least, right? I mean, 10 years. I think it's plenty. Hopefully it'll be alright.
I don't know, man. I just feel like they had like so many options. They had the opportunity to do something different, whether it be Suicide Squad or Batman Beyond. It could have been something really different either way, and they went for this middle ground where it's like, no, it's gonna be a bit more of the same. But you're playing as a character.
Maybe that's what their job is. That particular studio, maybe Rocksteady will do something like that.
Yeah, because Rocksteady's apparently already working on the next game. We don't know what it is, but they're doing something.
Ooh.
So, but I don't know, man.
We'll have to see.
I have to see, man.
What's next?
What's next, man? Oh, look, first comment on this article about the Damian Wayne game said, should have done a Batman Beyond game.
Oh, did you post it?
I did not post that. Someone else posted that other than me.
He read your mind.
Yeah, so I'm not the only one that thinks this, so I'm not alone.
You're not alone.
Not alone. But speaking of DC games...
More DC?
More DC games. Some footage came out this week of a prototype version of the Flash game that was canceled.
Who made that?
This was going to be developed by Bottle Rocket Entertainment, a now defunct third-party studio.
Bottle Rocket Entertainment. They sound familiar.
Yeah, it's a now defunct third-party studio that comprised of former Sony San Diego staff members. Warner Bros. Involved in the license. In this game, you play as Wally West.
Ooh. Got to play as Wally this time?
I think it plays Wally. It says in early stages, developers even considered having cameos from other superheroes such as Batman and Superman.
Shoot.
Yeah, the Flash was in development for PS3, 360, and Nintendo Wii. Bottle Rocket Entertainment closed down in September 2009 after months of struggle, and titles under the belt include 2005's Rise of the Kashi and 2016's Shaolin Showdown for PS2.
Wow. Dude, this would have been really neat.
But, DC, they can't put out a game that has nothing to do with Batman.
Always have to have Batman, dude.
Always have to have Batman. I don't know, and then they show gameplay footage, some like prototype gameplay footage, and you see, you're playing as a Flash, you're running through the city really fast and doing that and stuff.
You run around really fast? No.
Run really fast, yeah. Well, no. It is Warner Bros. We're talking about, so that actually is an accomplishment that they got that right.
Oh.
Even though the game was canceled. But yeah, I mean, we've already got something kind of close to it. Basically, it was like Infamous Second Light when you got the speed powers. Or no, speed powers, the Neo powers. So I mean, that was kind of like picture that like the whole game where you're just running fast through the city, slowing down time and whatever.
That was so fun.
Yeah, so fun.
Did you ever like platinum Infamous First Light?
Oh yeah, First Light and Second Son.
I just wish I can like replay it like in 4K and then have the platinum.
That's the thing. Like, I want to re-download it for the pro support, but
What's
the point? Yeah, I'll play it for like maybe an hour to check out the pro support, and then that'd be it. I delete it because there's no like trophies for me to gun for.
It looks nice though.
Yeah, but
Only 2 people at Sucker Punch did that.
yeah, see, look at that 0.2% effort it took to make that pro support.
Well, I mean, Sucker Punch is a small team.
Yeah.
2017 Sucker Punch. That's the year you tell us what game you're making.
What are you doing?
Shuhei has played the game in some form.
In some form, he has played the game.
Shuhei has played it.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, dude, I gotta get around to Last Guardian.
Yeah, you're right. That'd be something if like all of like Sony's first party studios was secretly working on like a Marvel game.
Holy!
Marvel just made some kind of deal with Sony, so like all their first parties like working on a game. Insomniac's doing Spider-Man. Sony Santa Monica's doing Wolverine. I don't know what Sucker Punch will do.
Dude, you're doing Wolverine game, Logan game.
Yes, a Logan game developed by Sony Santa Monica. How great would that be?
All you have to do is just throw in the character model of Joel.
Just be unlockable skin for The Last of Us.
Logan.
Oh,
I can't wait for Logan. If only there was a good game to accompany it.
Yeah.
But no, you already got that with Origins Wolverine, and it was the shittiest Wolverine movie.
But it had a good game.
Raven did a fantastic job with X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, if only Raven could, actually make games again.
Instead of making maps and remasters.
Yeah.
Gosh, wouldn't it be great if Activision could let their developers do whatever they want?
Instead of not make 2 to 3 games a year.
Do something called taking a risk.
Creativity.
What is that? When you write those words on a wall to them, it's just, what?
New IP? What's a new IP?
We only do that like once like a generation. That's it. Like Destiny. Oh, thank God we got that out of the way early. Thank God Bungie does something else other than Halo. After they were working on that for like 10 years. So, dude, oh my God! Like the day Infinity Ward gets to do something different.
They did. It was called Titanfall.
Oh,
the real Infinity Ward.
Dude, like, yeah, exactly. Here's the thing that strikes me about Titanfall 2, because I just started playing Titanfall 2. The game has, like, character to it. That's reminiscent of the early Modern Warfare games. Like, it doesn't feel like a manufactured game. It feels like it has heart and soul in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
It feels lively, like the whole battles and stuff. Dude, the sound design is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to even with my party members. I don't even want to hear what they're saying. I want to be invested in the combat experience when I'm playing.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear voice chat. I want to hear the sounds, because the sound design is incredible.
Yep, that's the real Infinity Ward right there. Those guys right there.
This should have been Call of Duty. What was the point of putting in all the space battles and shit if it does nothing new with it? This is something new.
Yep.
I mean, I gotta be honest. If that was Call of Duty then Call of Duty would have had a much better reputation than it does now. Because they might as well. I mean, sure, it's under the Source engine from the Valve games, but I mean that's fine. I mean, just gameplay-wise, it's totally different from Call of Duty, and I think if they let Infinity Ward do what they want, then that would have been it.
See, that's the thing. It's that when it comes to game development, it's just that compromise of developer vision versus publisher's vision for a game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've seen that a lot in the past years or so.
Uh-huh.
It happened with Activision. Infinity Ward, when they were originally developing the Modern Warfare games, when they were developing Modern Warfare 2, they didn't even want it to be called Call of Duty. They just wanted it to become its own thing, And
it has Call of Duty named to the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah, the first one was called Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, but when they were developing Modern Warfare 2, they didn't want to call it Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. They just wanted to call it Modern Warfare 2, and it become its own franchise, kind of one other game that did that was like Need for Speed Shift. Like that was a game that was so different from the rest that when they developed the second one, it was just called Shift 2. Like they dropped Need for Speed from the title.
Yeah, they wanted. Well, they have that brand. They have the brand within a brand. I mean, Black Ops is it, and then we thought Ghost was maybe going to be a sub brand of it, but that didn't turn out. So, and then
But
Modern Warfare is its own.
But the point was they were trying to take this franchise and turn it into something else and kind of like steer into a different direction. But then no, they kept the Call of Duty name on it. Activision kept them on that. Then during development of Modern Warfare 3, that's when the whole fallout happened with Infinity Ward and Activision, where pretty much the entire Infinity Ward staff basically left, except for maybe like a couple, maybe stayed behind.
Yeah, the OGs.
Yeah, pretty much all the original developers left Infinity Ward and started their own company, Respawn Entertainment, and now they did Titanfall and Titanfall 2. So you can tell where that's where all the creativity went, and all the energy went. Because obviously, like I said, after Modern Warfare 3, they wanted to kind of do something different, and then maybe after that, kind of go in a new direction. Back then, said, no, screw that, you're out. And they went to go do their own thing. And then we saw this year, same thing with Konami. Kojima, he wanted to do his own thing with the game. Konami didn't want that. Obviously, there was some clashing over what they wanted in the game, and then Kojima ended up leaving. Now he has his own company and developing his own game.
I just feel like even without that context in mind, I feel like it's just Titanfall 2 definitely has character to it. Doesn't
because they're allowing it because it's
it's from EA. It's from EA.
I know EA can be controlling too, but for this game they kind of let them do what they want. Like, this is because they know Titanfall 1 didn't quite hit the mark.
Because like it's longevity. But Titanfall 2 I feel like probably has it.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 is a game that finally reached the full potential of what Titanfall 1 was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of that's why going into this game, EA kind of let them do what they need to make this work. So that's kind of it. And then you see something like I said, Activision, where they just kind of want it done a certain way and made it in a certain time. And then now they're taking all their other good developers like Raven, like High Moon and all that, and making them work on other games like Call of Duty or Destiny. And it's just kind of like, well, it's like, where can we get more IPs, more games, more development, That's what we talked about on our last episode, where's the new IPs? And the problem is there's less developers because they're all working on the big established AAA franchise that are annualized to where they're not out doing their own thing, Yeah,
part of that's disappointing too.
Where, you look at you look at the way Sony does it, like Sony trusts their developers. I mean, Naughty Dog, like, they could have just gone straight into Uncharted 4 after Uncharted 3, but Sony let them do what they want, and they did a whole nother game, a whole new IP, and made The Last of Us.
Taking the risk.
Taking that risk, man.
Risk over it, all over it. But it was successful. It was a good risk.
Yeah. I mean, there's bad risks out there, because the big one for this year was Battleborn.
Battleborn, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have our bad risk. Battleborn, Homefront.
Homefront, yeah, trying to revitalize that brand, that IP.
But we have to in order to move forward. And unfortunately, the heart of the situation is that we haven't had much of that this gen. We had snippets of it, but I just feel like it hasn't. We've talked about this so many times. It hasn't been as much as it has been previous gen.
But like I said, it's just that this generation is like we're getting to that point where like games are just becoming more and more expensive to make, so it's harder to make those risks. Where like we need to focus on brands that are known. Which it's not bad if you focus on a brand that's already known, but you need to be willing to bring innovation to it.
Focusing on brands, and then of course figure out trends, because ever since the success of GTA 5, we've had a lot of open world games, and then microtransactions with every game.
Yeah, but it's not even that. I mean, just like, because like it wouldn't be bad if you made it Call of Duty all the time, but if you actually did innovation and made it different and stand out to where it's not that bad, but it's just kind of the same thing. There's, like you said, to the point where there's no life left in it. Where Titanfall 2 is, like you said, a game where it's like fresh, it's got life to it, it's got the sci-fi.
Yeah, it has personality to it. It has something. It doesn't feel like a manufactured game.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's what the heart of like those Infinity Ward games even had. even Call of Duty 2 and 3, not 3, they didn't make 3. 2 and 4 and Modern Warfare 2, even to an extent, had a personality to it, had something to latch on to after you play it. It's like with the COD games, it's just kind of like you just play it and that's it. You don't really get anything out of it. Like with Titanfall 2 already, and I only play it for a little bit, I got something out of it. Already. The maps have personality. The Titans have personality. Things that you're doing has a reason to it. You're not just dying for no reason.
Yeah. And Titanfall is a new IP for this generation.
Exactly. And Titanfall 2 is, I hope, a successful one. I know I bought it like when it was a heavily reduced price, but hopefully that does something, and I'll play it and support it. Maybe I might even buy a skin or two. What? I don't know, but it makes me all the more excited for Respawn's Star Wars game. That's going to be a single player game.
Yeah.
Third person. It's going to be good. We don't have to worry about them because EA's got them locked in for that game. It's not like if Titanfall 2 is a dud financially, and all of a sudden that means Respawn is done. No, I mean, they're locked in. They got their motion cap studio going.
Yeah.
And the campaign seems pretty interesting for Titanfall 2 so far. So if they made a good campaign with that, then they can make a good campaign with this Star Wars game.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll do good work with the sound work, because if they get the same guy to do the sound work from Titanfall 2, then they'll be good in Star Wars game. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe I'm even more excited for that game than the Visceral game.
That we equally know nothing about.
I mean, we have a little video thing for the Visceral one.
Him walking through a door.
Walking through a door.
That's all it is. It's a door walking simulator.
We're getting the plans for the second Death Star. And then Starkiller Base for Respawn's game. That's the thing about it, though. Like, who got the plans for the second one?
What second one? The one that was like half a Death Star? Or are you talking about the one before?
Well, that was half a Death Star.
Half a Death Star? There's no plans for it. All they're doing is putting it back together, and they just ran into the side of it where the big giant hole was at.
Yeah, they like took a shot in the dark with it.
I mean, they just saw half a Death Star being put together, and they were just like, "Oh, we're just gonna let them finish it, right?"
Yeah, we'll just let Lando do it, right?
We'll just sit there, because like you can see them putting it back together, and they just sat there and like, "Yeah, we're gonna let them put that back together," and it was like halfway done. They're like, "No, it's fully operational." And then it still worked, even though it was only half a Death Star. And they're like, well, I guess we know how to blow it up, right? We fly to the center. And guess what? Half of it's already gone. So it's going to be a lot easier to get to the center.
We don't need to sacrifice a whole battalion of rogue people in order to get it destroyed. How must they feel, though, that when they died, they just died for like the first one, there was going to be a second one right after the Starkiller Base?
Hey, they're going to build it again.
They're going to build it again, so you die for nothing. Well,
and then they're going to build it again for Force Awakens.
Sorry, K2SO.
I think we got the kinks out of this thing, right? Nope. We're still going to blow it up. In Force Awakens, it's like, oh my god. So what's going to happen in episode 8? They're going to build like a death triangle or something. Like maybe the shape was what was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we need a giant triangle. And then they're going to like shoot a beam through, it's going to make a rainbow, and it's just going to like do the Pink Floyd album.
If Snook is that, that's funny. If Snook is that stupid, but we haven't seen him in physical form though yet, so
Smoke?
we don't. Snook.
Smoke.
Snoke.
Snoke. Smoke.
Stoke.
Smoke.
Smoke.
Something like that. But anyway, speaking of Star Wars games.
Ooh.
EA and
Been
DICE.
playing. I got a lot of Star Wars games this week. I got Lego Star Wars, and then you gave me Battlefront.
Yep. Well, speaking of that, EA and DICE is talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2 development. This says Battlefront is looking to be better in every aspect from its predecessor, including a more fully fleshed out single player mechanic. Discussed the mixed reaction from fans in the past. They finally talking about the game's the sequel single player. Fans a bit. The latest information was from Electronic Arts Justin McCauley, who appeared on a podcast. He's talking about the game and said, the focus of the first game was to nail the core multiplayer experience of what DICE does great. That was the strategy of the title, and now we can expand the universe. We have a better sense of what characters coming to play, what stories we can tell, what stories are maybe being told in a film versus a game. That's where we're really ramping up the interaction with Lucasfilms to bring those games to the market. We heard the fans loud and clear that the multiplayer was great, but it wasn't enough, and they wanted that complete package. So the team has been very focused on delivering that single player element.
I mean, they've been very candid about that. They have stated, even despite how many copies. I mean, let's not deny here. I mean, Star Wars Battlefront was financially successful, the first one. But I mean, they've been pretty open that they rushed this game.
Yeah,
they had a time frame for it. I mean, just like any game does, but no, for this game in particular. I mean, they had to get it out before Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. It's a game, like I said, they meant that it's rushed, but they said the sequel should be out next fall, and they said full single player experience.
I like the transparency. I mean, they give that transparency. I mean, ever since of December 2015. So I mean, it's not really a surprise, but no, it's good. I mean, the ramblings about Battlefront 2 should start like ASAP because I mean, we know this game is happening and it's gonna come soon, at least before Episode 8's release. So. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. Now I know I brought this up already, but like, what? How would you feel though if they did the Battlefield 1 approach, where it's kind of like 5 small stories?
Look, dude, I'm gonna have to come transparent about Battlefield 1's campaign. It's not very good.
You don't like it?
No, I really don't. I mean, now knowing how much I know about the war now, I mean, taking war classes. The game didn't really represent. I mean, actually, kind of as a whole, I don't really feel like the game really represents World War One all that well. Look, aside from the respawning and whatnot, I feel like multiplayer wise, it does it fine. But for like this campaign, let's put the campaign. I just feel like it doesn't do it. I mean, you have a guy. I mean, I think an analysis video that Total Biscuit made on YouTube sums it up really perfectly. About like, there's this one campaign mission. War story mission that you're doing of this guy that tells his flashback story about the war, and he you're in like the metal like suit and you're just mowing down like hundreds and hundreds of people, and like I don't know, it was totally like just comical and just kind of stupid.
Okay, but that's because of historical content. But like for Star Wars, because it's sci-fi.
Because it's sci-fi, it doesn't matter. You make up whatever you want.
Yeah.
Still no. Like,
still no. I mean, I don't know.
It needs to be a central focus. Titanfall 2 approach, man. Like, how about this? How about they collaborate? Well, not collaborate. Like, it's a 2-sided game, but like, I mean, that would be a neat idea. Of like, Respawn makes the campaign, DICE makes the multiplayer. I mean, that would be a neat thing, but because DICE doesn't make good single player games.
Yeah,
they really don't. They tried. Look, I commend them for the approach for Battlefield 1. I commend it. It's fine. I mean, they definitely tried to do something different. But the end result was still something that was not as focused. Look, you saw like that beginning mission in Battlefield 1 that how you were doing?
The one where you're supposed to die or something?
Yeah. It did that so cool. That was so cool. And like that represented like the war of good. And then the rest of it doesn't do that. It like gave up. It just nah.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just kind of like the idea of like getting the most out of the Star Wars universe. So if we can get different perspectives,
so you can get,
cool.
like the vastness of it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'll be open to the idea of you playing as like different factions, like that. Then that's fine. Like you get to play as like one side, kind of like Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd be open to that idea. But I would like to at least have the story have a central story to it at least.
It'd be okay if like the little segments had their own kind of story, and because some stories just maybe don't need to be long. I mean, you look at something like Rogue One. I think Rogue One could have worked better as a shorter story. It felt like something that didn't need to be, something that didn't need to be 2-hour narrative. Like this felt like the core story could have been something short. Like that could have been one whole story thing in the Battlefront 2 campaign,
Yeah,
but I mean, I
see what you mean.
I mean, I'll be whatever either way. If it's just one long story, or if it's some smaller stories. But I mean, because I just like the idea of like seeing more of the Star Wars universe, like kind of expand it out to where we can see kind of as much. As
possible. Yeah, and I would be open to that too. You have different plans and all that. it's a tricky situation. But it's just the history goes. DICE simply doesn't make good single player campaigns, and I just hope with this, I mean, if they're working really closely with Lucasfilm on it, then that rings some promise. But I don't know. I mean, people gave all the praises to Battlefield 1's campaign, but I personally didn't think it was all that great, really, whatsoever. So, I don't know.
I think, too, since they're working with Lucasfilm, I think what they need to do is basically develop a story that doesn't connect to the main movies almost at all. Because the problem is with doing that is that you have to follow that continuity, you know? Because
and then there's that crowd that wants like prequel content.
Yeah, I mean that I wouldn't mind exploring that era more, but like, you know, ever since Disney took over, Disney has actually been really strict with continuity since they took over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for Star Wars, because like they straight up said all that expanded universe stuff is not canon. All the games up to this point are not canon. The only thing
it doesn't matter. I mean, the first Battlefront game that we have right now from EA has like silly stuff that's like, you know, obviously like not canon.
Yeah, I know, but like it's not trying to be canon because there's no story. But like if they're developing a full story and associated with Lucasfilm,
I see what you mean with the campaign.
Yeah, so like for this new one for the campaign, like the best thing for them to do is develop some kind of story that's not directly tied to the main narrative. I mean, obviously the Stormtroopers and Rebellion can still be a thing going on, but it can't be a story that directly ties into this movie or that movie, because then you have to worry about continuity and whether this is canon or not.
Yeah, that's a good mode of thinking. Yeah, so you might have to put that in perspective so people can kind of temper their expectations for this campaign. Because at the end of the day, it's only going to be about like maybe 5 hours, about as long as Battlefield 1's campaign.
Yeah.
Because it's not the reason why we're going to buy this game. But I mean, just having the campaign is going to be nice, at least. It's just, it's a difficult thing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. So this game will be out next year, so we'll probably get some rumblings and reveal at E3 and all that and stuff. So
yeah, we'll have the preview cycle for it.
The preview cycle, man.
Don't really. If I gotta pledge to go through the EA conference, fine to watch it.
To see Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I know. It's just I gotta watch that stinking EA conference, and just that EA conference this year was just bad.
Just bad.
It was bad. I mean, was it as bad as the Minions coming? I don't know.
I mean, you always complain every year. I mean, it's just an hour, and you get caught up, and you know the news to talk about for the podcast.
Yeah, it's just these things to think, and then once we get to, just hope, I just couldn't remember just looking back on the year about how long the Ubisoft one was.
Ubisoft one was long.
That was ridiculous. And then when they got Steve and they were showing Steve for so long, I was like, oh my god.
That was their end of the conference announcement with Steve.
I was like, oh my god, it's like never gonna. I mean, you know, I was fully invested when they had like Ghost Recon and stuff, and South Park. But dude, what they dragged it out with like having the people sit down and the interviews, and you had like Star Trek, and then you had Eagle Flight, and then you knew it was like long because there's also shit in there that you didn't care about.
Yeah, I know, but it's still something we gotta watch.
Ridiculous.
E3, man.
Gotta respect people's time next year. That's
respect
just
people's
ridiculous.
time. Like, what else would you be doing at that time?
Just no. It should not having to be watching a freaking Ubisoft conference for like 2 Assassin's Creed movies long in order to get it done. Oh, and they better not have a word about that movie. No, I don't want to hear about the Blu-ray release. I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah, I don't really know what else they can say about it, though. I mean, it'd be out by then and everything. It's just
the sequels get canceled, and then all that, and yeah, it's just show us the new game. Show us that new game.
They'll be like, that Division movie we're working on
with Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain.
They're gonna come on stage and talk about it, like, we're making a Division movie.
Well, they get Jake Gyllenhaal on the E3 stage, like, hey Jake, you actually play any games? Nope. Okay, you go back home, play some Division, see how buggy it is, See how imbalanced it is, and just go home. We'll have the PS4 updated for you when you get home.
Yeah, the Division did get PS4 Pro support this week.
Oh wow, it did. I wonder what the analysis of that is.
Mm.
I wonder how that's gonna fare. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Maybe it might be good. You never know. Is that like one of the few Ubisoft games that has Pro support?
No,
What
Assassin's
other?
Creed got all the Assassin's Creed Syndicate got a Pro support.
Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed Syndicate got Pro support. Heard it's like all right. It's not like the best, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Don't know if it like hinders the support. I mean the performance of it.
Mm.
Syndicate. Wait, I mean, even Black Flag?
No, I don't think Black Flag got it. I think
Wait.
Syndicate got it. I know for sure Syndicate got it, and I think maybe the SEO collection got it, but I'm not 100% on that.
Nah.
I don't know.
Well, Unity. Just kidding. Dude, I wonder how many people are even playing Unity. None.
Do you want to play that co-op?
Nah. Unity was like okay when I played it a little bit.
I mean, it was fun when you do the co-op.
Yeah, and I played it like post-launch, so that was good. Didn't have to worry about all the launch qualms, but Unity, I mean, look, it tried to do the Risk thing with it, right? At least
Try something different. Yeah, co-op.
It's different. Couldn't completely flack it, but it was buggy. The graphics on it were just chugging all the time, and the story was kind of crummy, and
Yeah.
go home. Go home. Play something else.
Oh, speaking of going home, we're just over the 1 hour mark.
Take me home. Take me home. You gonna take me home?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have some little things we could talk about, but I don't know.
Whatever else for the year, man. I mean, this is the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a Vita game. Not a Vita game. I bought a VR game last week. So I finally played a
Robinson?
new VR game. Huh?
Robinson?
No.
Oh, Fruit Ninja?
Yes.
So good.
Play Fruit Ninja VR. It's pretty good.
Looks fun.
It's fun.
I was like, I knew you needed to get this.
Well, because I got that like holiday credit, that Sony was sending out to people.
Wait, if you spend a certain amount?
No, like they were just randomly sending people $10, saying "Happy Holidays, here's $10."
Wait, what? Are you freaking kidding me?
Nope, and I got it.
You didn't tell me this. Wait, maybe I have something in my box, but I never checked.
You better go check your email.
Dude.
Well, it's probably expired by now. It expired December 24th.
When did you get it?
December 19th, 18th.
Wow, dude, you never bothered to tell me.
I didn't think about it. You read about as much. You read about as much, if not more, news than me. I think you would have saw it by now.
Nah, dude, some stuff goes over my head.
But you're on Twitter 24/7. You think they would have that on Twitter somewhere?
You think?
You think? But anyway, they did
It's
that.
just an email thing, though. It's not like a thing that, like, let's post about it to everyone, and people are like, "Where's my $10? Where's my $10? Where's my $10?"
I don't know, but I got it. They sent me a $10 code, and I used it towards Fruit Ninja VR because Fruit Ninja is 15, so I'm paid $5
That's so lame, dude. But I want my 15. No, here's my entitlement. Wait, just 10? Wait, was it 10?
It was 10. It was 10, but Fruit Ninja was 15, so I got $10 off. So I only paid $5 for Fruit Ninja.
Where's my Google? Where's my Google? I don't even know what Gmail is.
But Fruit Ninja's fun because it's like. Because it's something we talk about, like, oh, why has there never been, like, a sword game or a lightsaber game with the move controls and stuff? Well, this game is VR, and you get dual-wielding swords with a move control in each hand.
Yeah.
It's fun slashing at the fruit and doing all this and that. You get the swords. You just feel awesome with those swords in your hands. Plus, it's the one VR game that actually gave me, like, a sweat. Like, it feels like a workout, swinging your arms around to, like, get at the fruit and everything. Because like every other VR game I played, like you move around, but not like a whole lot to the point where like it's tiring,
Yeah.
But this is the first game where like I'm really like moving, like really swinging my arms hard and fast, trying to like get at the fruit and targets and all that. It's a fun game. I just don't know if it's necessarily worth $15 right now. Because I mean, I only paid $5 for it, so I don't really feel that way. But like if I paid $15 for it, I don't know how I'd feel.
I mean, it's a game that doesn't have like much to it, right?
No, I mean, there's only 4 modes, and there's not really that much difference between those 4 modes.
Oh.
But I mean, it's still fun. It's still just a fun game. Especially I mean, if you just want a sword VR game, then it's worth it alone just for that. Just you playing a sword game in VR. It kind of reminds me of that game. Remember that game? What's it called? Not Red Steel. Remember Red Steel for Wii?
Yeah, Red Steel. How they like promoted that game at first with the sword and all that with the Wiimote. How cool it looked when you had the guy like.
Yeah, look at this, man. You get a sword and a gun, and it's all moving and stuff. And then the game was just kind of like, when it came out. And then they made a huge deal about the sequel, and the sequel is basically a reboot because it was like a whole different direction.
Oh yeah, it was like totally different. There's guns.
Yeah, because like the first one was just like kind of like real world Yakuza stuff, but like the sequel was like it's some like Western world or something.
Hey, Western World.
Westworld.
Westworld.
Westworld. No, there's no swords in Westworld yet.
Whoa. Westworld, you were getting to like when there's like some sort of Western world. It was world.
Oh god, that's gonna be in this season for Westworld season. Was this some kind of Westworld?
Dude, it's only a matter of time when Telltale does a Westworld game.
Oh yeah, that Westworld game.
Cause they got the HBO partnership, so
yeah,
it's bound to happen. You heard it here first.
That or True Detective Telltale game.
Yeah, I would love a True Detective Telltale game, and it has all of the voice actors we know and love. Because True Detective likes to have those A-list actors.
Well, no, that's the thing though. It would have to be a new story, and then they still get A-list actors, even though it's a new story.
Oh, so like not just video game voice actors, the typical video game voice actors, just like actors.
Yeah, like no, they have to keep it in the true detective spirit and get A-list actors, even though it's a video game. So like you get Jake Gyllenhaal to come in and voice a video game character.
Yes.
While mentally preparing himself for the Division movie, he's going to be in a video game.
He's going to be the game.
He's going to be in the game.
Dude, and he needs to do his Jake Gyllenhaal isms and get really angry, get really mad.
Yeah.
Because he gets angry in every movie he's in.
Mm-hmm.
Really angry. But, yeah. He's really funny, though. I would love for him to be an E3. That would be really funny. So,
but yeah,
that'd be cool.
But yeah, Fruit Ninja's fun. Like I said, if you want a sword game, check it out. Fruit Ninja, man. Because like I don't know what other VR games to get right now because like they're kind of expensive. I mean, like Eagle Flight's $40, Robson's $40. It's kind of like, I don't know if I throw $40 on a game that I may or may not like.
Hey man, take a shot in the dark. Robinson looks cool though.
It's like those times like maybe I need to get GameFly again just so I can try out VR games.
Ooh,
because man, if
GameFly again.
Yeah, because if I had GameFly, I would rent every VR game just to try them all.
Or just go to GameStop, buy a pre-owned.
Yeah, I'll play it for a week, bring it back.
Give it back.
Yeah.
Be like, I didn't really like this, man.
I didn't like this VR game, man.
We'll get it back on your credit card. It'll take like a week, though. What?
No, they give me cash back.
Well, if you use cash, but I mean, if you use like a credit card, it takes like a week.
No, I think they give you cash back, too.
Oh. Ooh.
I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's how they did it for me.
Because, I was going to be a cheap bastard and get it for Batman.
Yeah.
Oh. We advise you not to use this tactic.
But, yeah. Because, I mean, the big VR game that's coming up is Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out at the end of the month. End of January. Not the end of this month. The end of the month of January.
Yes.
Because we're not in January yet. As much as I want to think we are.
Do you want to be in January?
I don't know.
You want to be in 2017 already?
Sure.
So you can watch Monster Trucks?
Monster Trucks. No, Series Forge event starts the 13th, man. Can we check that out on Netflix?
Finally, something to watch.
Something to watch on Netflix, man.
Well, I mean, I could watch like Black Mirror.
Yeah, Black Mirror is good.
Black Mirror. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think.
But yeah, Resident Evil, man. Can we check that out?
Resident Evil, yeah, you get to play some Resident Evil.
Resident Evil in VR.
VR. Who likes VR? Everybody.
I mean, it's the first AAA game to be fully VR compatible.
Isn't that insane?
That's why this game needs to be a hit. So that way other games can do it.
Well, I mean, you don't have to like have VR in order to play it.
No, you don't have to have VR to play it, but I just want this to click and work so that way other developers can say, well, it worked for Resident Evil, you know, why can't it work for us?
Why can't it work for us?
Because, I mean, there's that, and there's Farpoint, even though we don't know when the hell Farpoint's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So Farpoint looks great. It comes with that gun. And then Sony's all like, oh, yeah, we have other games in development that'll support the gun. I'm like, well, what are they?
What are they?
I mean, this is the only first-person shooter in VR that we know of that's in development from Sony, so what are the other ones?
We don't know. Dude, that's like their direction that they were doing with a Killzone 3 gun and Resistance 3 gun. like, what is it? It's just one other game.
That move gun?
Yeah.
I mean, it works with most games. It's just like whether or not the games actually recognize the buttons or not. That has to be seen because it worked in like SOCOM and it worked in Resistance and it worked in Killzone.
What if it's just I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm kind of running out of ideas here.
I don't know. We just need to hear about what other first-person shooters are in development because that was the thing, man. We always say that sad story about the Vita, like, oh, we put 2 analog sticks so we can have first-person shooters on the Vita, and only 5 were ever released.
Yeah.
On Vita. So, like, same thing with VR. Everybody's like, oh, VR would be cool for first-person shooters, right? And then, we're getting any?
Getting that Mars one.
Yeah, that's Farpoint.
Farpoint?
Farpoint, Until Dawn is technically a first-person shooter. It's on rails, but still first-person you're shooting. They put out that gun range game last week.
Carnival games, you're not in first person?
Yeah, the Carnival games in first person. I don't know if there's probably a gun on there, like probably shooting at targets or something.
I've only had games, you can try it out.
Yeah. But no, they do have that gun range game that came out last week. It's actually from the creators of like Burnout Paradise.
Wow. That's what they've been working on all these years.
All these years. Well, I mean, it's not Criterion. It's like former developers of Criterion.
Oh, yeah. I heard about it. Yeah, they were working on some...
Yeah, they did put out this like gun range game or whatever for VR last week.
They did.
Ugh. I want Burnout. I want a new Burnout game so bad.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. You just got to put your expectations in check.
Oh, well. EA is going to keep trying and trying at Need for Speed, and then Burnout will just burn out.
Burnout. Burning out on the burnout.
Burnout.
I'm feeling like this might be it.
Might be.
2016 is over.
For the PSBS.
For the PSBS. I can't believe it.
If I can actually get this episode up before 2017.
Who said you had an option? Oh!
Yeah, because what's tomorrow? Friday? And then Saturday?
Nothing's Friday.
Sunday?
Sunday, there's nothing.
So yeah, I'm going to try to get this episode up before 2017.
Yeah, you'll be more than capable. Unless you break your leg or something, or like you break your arm, or like you die.
What?
You're more than capable.
I'm not famous.
Not yet.
I'm not famous in 2016, so I'm going to be alright.
You're going to be alright? I don't know who'd be immortal. Well,
no, I'm just saying it's not. I'm just saying it's not safe to be famous in 2016.
No, definitely not. Just gotta be careful.
Anyway, with that, that's been the PSBS Plays Bullshit Podcast, episode 85. I'm your host, Cody PS and Bible. Chris here is
Andrew Arenas, double is, and if you want to find me playing Battlefront, Call of Duty 4 Remastered, Titanfall 2, Far Cry 4, Advanced Warfare, or Battlefield 1, play with me. Add me.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone had a fantastic year. I think this year was filled with a lot of lessons and a lot of learning, which is a good thing.
Learning's good.
Yeah, which is a good thing. People can reject learning all the time, but
yeah.
I remember the first 6 months, like I remember hating this year so much, and I hated it. But now that I'm looking back, I'm very happy. I think it's going on the up and up, and yeah, definitely a lot of lessons to look back on. And looking forward to whatever comes on PlayStation. I personally have a lot to look forward to gaming-wise in 2017. And then once I move, and then we'll go to San Diego Comic-Con, hopefully in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll check out the gaming stuff there. And then have my new personal setup for my PlayStation. And then yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun year. I foresee. It's not like this year hasn't been fun. I mean, it's been a good year, but like I think 2017 is gonna be even better.
Even better.
Knock on wood. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Very excited.
But yeah, there's that. And yeah, so thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week. And